could be more like you could either say you get bonuses with decking, but that's very general.
Well, at the time I wasn't thinking about positives or negatives.
Yeah, I know.
At the time I was thinking about what kind of character do you want to make? Yeah.
Which is what we're talking about this now.
Yeah. Yeah. A positive, or should I rename it? I don't know.
Like, what would you like to focus on? Would you like
Well, I should focus on decking since I am the only decker. So I guess a bonus to decking would be nice.
What if you called it Nerdy Elf Cyber Decker?
Nerdy? I don't really see nerdy working out very well.
You could just say he's good with a lot of different equipment.
I could say something like that. But that might be seeming like tying into a bunch of my other aspects. Because I was kind of warned about, you know, having overlapping stuff with tech.
Geeky? I don't know. Well, what's a good phrase or a good term for someone who's very good with technology?
Just call him a tech head.
I guess it might help if we put in a little context about the character. See, Rio is also a street urchin, so yeah, no actual education or anything like that.
Okay.
He's a technophile.
Oh yeah, that gets out of negative now, doesn't it?
Not in a negative way, but like in a sexual way, but like things just work. This kind of person that makes technology just work. It just makes sense.
Savant? I don't know. Of course, savant tends to mean that you're limited in other capacities. I don't know. Elf Cyber Decker with lots of toys was really to the point for me. So
we could. The thing is, you also have the aspect Tech Whisperer.
yeah.
So a lot of the positives and negatives you might think of for this aspect can apply to that one as well.
True.
So there's no harm, I think, in kind of renaming this one slightly, because what is important to your character is already covered in another aspect.
How about the word savvy? I don't know.
That's a good one, yeah.
Savvy cyber decker with lots of toys. I don't know. Okay, let's try. Okay, we'll go with savvy, I guess.
Savvy elf cyber decker.
Where's the negative in a word like savvy?
Yeah.
There's no difference between savvy and geeky, outside of geeky has a negative.
True.
I'm just thinking that if he was, geeky or nerdy, it might have a difficult way to survive on the streets. I don't know.
Just
Not
because you're
necessarily.
geeky and nerdy doesn't mean you're not like smart or strong. Like we use geeky and nerdy in such negative connotations nowadays. That's the reason why you're thinking that way.
Like, everybody who's like made something like, okay, not everybody, like 99% of people who make something of themselves are a nerd in whatever subject they know. Like, it's just the way it is. It doesn't mean you're not, like, if you're a nerd, you're perfectly capable of surviving in somewhere like the slums.
Especially Seattle.
Seattle's like nerd heaven, isn't it?
You can use your intelligence to your advantage.
Yeah. So you don't use physical strength, or you don't use knowing loads and loads of people. You kind of use your quick thinking and out of the box thinking to survive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm being difficult.
I mean, if that's not what you had in mind for a character, that's perfectly fine. We'll just find something else. But then just kind of like explain how your character survived the slums. Like, just for now, I think you can go through your other aspects and then kind of explain who your character is, and then maybe we'll get an idea.
Okay. And the next one, the trouble aspect, was Twitchy from Black Ice Run-In. Okay, I was basically thinking about some of these while he was going over other people's, and I was thinking that the Black Ice thing would be like one time he got overconfident, careless, and whoopsie, Black Ice. Kinda made him a bit more humble at the time. And so the result of that is the negative would be the nervous twitch that was discussed when I was creating the character.
The positive is black ice is relatively rare, and if a system does have black ice on it, it's very high grade. Someone with a lot of money is backing that. Someone who has enough power to not care about the illegality of black ice. So this could be something like you felt really confident in your decking abilities, made a run on some big corp, and got your ass handed to you. Or maybe you were on an actual job, and that job didn't quite go as planned, and then the black ice activated, and you just barely escaped. However you want to kind of interpret that.
I'm kind of leaning towards the latter one, because the character's just starting. Well, I don't mean like history starting, I mean like we're actually just starting characters.
Yeah. I mean, they both work for someone who's just starting out.
Yeah. I was thinking of a positive, like, knows better than most about what happens when you're careless.
That's one thing. It could also help you when you're facing black ice again.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Or maybe you're very good at suppressing alarms or getting rid of ice in general because you don't want to run into black ice again. Something like that. There's a lot of potential.
Bonus versus alarms or bonus versus black ice? Well, if I'm good at suppressing the alarms, the black ice doesn't show up, so... choices.
You don't know, you don't have to choose. Like, that's the awesome thing about aspects, and that's why you kind of try and phrase them in this way. Right now, as it's phrased, it can do both. I actually did put the 3 pages in the rulebook up in the Google Docs that explain how aspects work. And like aspects, the more you define them and the more you add to them, it actually enables you to do more things with it. Kind of like how this one allows you to both try and prevent black ice as well as fight black ice when it does appear. And you want that. You want your aspect to be able to be applicable to many situations. Both positively and negatively.
So we'll just go with how it's worded right now?
Yeah, how it's worded right now is good.
Okay, and a negative would be, negative. Well, let's see. If we're talking about knows better what happens when you're being careless, then I guess he would be cautious when he's decking? Overly cautious?
Can be, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the old saying, once bitten, twice shy.
Sure. Or when it kind of looks like that alarm might go off, black ice might appear, that you can't focus as well on your current action. Because then you start getting like the twitch and the panic comes up again. But yeah, we don't have to actually list all of the possible situations right now because we can't know what's going to come up. But this is just to give you an idea of possible ways or possible areas that your aspect covers and kind of familiarize yourself with it.
Okay. So, on to the next one then?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is the origin. It says junkyard urchin. Basically, what I had for this guy was like, he spent a lot of time in junkyard, so probably being like good at finding salvage or something. Probably could tie into engineering, I guess.
Yeah. And a negative?
Negative would be something like...
This would probably be the whole didn't have a formal education thing.
Yeah, probably.
You grew up on the streets, you grew up in a junkyard, so you have a lot of survival knowledge, but you don't have a lot of academic knowledge, and everything you learn about machines and decking you learn by hands-on experience.
Yeah, I could see that. More of a, definitely hands-on approach than knowing what it is, unless he already encountered it, I guess. Yeah, I can see that working.
Okay.
Yeah, next is the style, the tech whisperer. Basically, I was thinking like someone who's like really oddly good with tech. You know, kind of like how Kaylee, I believe her name was, from Firefly,
Yeah.
the engineer girl.
Mm-hmm.
Positive? Well, he's oddly good with tech.
Yeah.
A negative? Well, that's easy. He would come off as, say, odd to other people when he's messing with tech. Like, we don't know what's quite right with that boy.
Maybe even treats drones like people, like friends, instead of just machines. Something like that.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah.
Okay. And then your contact?
Yes, the contact, known as Phil. I'd say that basically what happened is that Rio encountered Phil while he was in the Matrix, and they've only ever met in the cyber world. And strangely enough, they became friends, and actually being like Rio's first true friend, you know? Yeah. A positive? They've never met over the Matrix, so perhaps Phil would be able to help with Matrix-related things. I mean, this is somebody that Rio actually trusts completely, almost completely, you know?
So, what about the other way around? Like, is this a loyal friend?
Well, I would think so. But I don't generally... It's... Yeah. I would say that they are like real friends to each other. I was keeping a kind of a sort of mysterious kind of thing to Phil.
Okay. So maybe both the positive and the negative would revolve around, like, you do each other bigger favors than just business contacts would do. So you could ask for a slightly bigger favor from Phil, but then from time to time Phil might ask for a bigger favor from you.
Yeah, I could see that working.
Alright. Okay. So yeah, your archetype. A lot of what you were trying to express with that is actually covered, like the whole tech whisperer thing, and then the lack of formal education. So what else do you think is there about your character that you would like to express?
I would say that, well, one thing I was thinking about earlier was that he's probably been running for a long time.
Okay. So like an experienced elf cyberdecker.
Yeah. That seems pretty good, actually. Been around a while, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like he's old or anything, but he's probably been doing it from a young age, I would guess.
A possible negative would be that people may have heard of him before, which he doesn't. If that's negative attention, then yeah, not good. Or perhaps he's left a couple of traces in this system or that system, and then if he returns there, or if something else pops up, like there's already some sort of record.
Yeah, record or rumors about him, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Is his code name Morpheus?
What?
Very well, he's heard rumors of Morpheus in the Matrix.
Yes. But yeah, then you could rename your archetype as experienced elf cyberdecker. Remember, you can always put whatever you want in the description, so you can put like has lots of toys or things like that in your description if you want. But the aspect itself could then be, yeah, experienced elf cyberdecker sounds good. If that's what you're going for.
Yeah. Okay, experienced elf cyberdecker with toys or lots of toys.
I would actually take out the whole with lots of toys thing.
Okay. Experienced elf cyberdecker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Also, your refresh is down by 1 because you actually took the cyberware. So yeah, I just adjusted that. I already adjusted it. It's 4. It's not 5. It's 4.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So looks done. Slip, your character.
So, my guy is named Zaphresz. He is a troll, born to parents who were killed when he was young. Grew up on the streets. He got taken in by a gang called the Black Hand. Grew up essentially with the gang, learning the ways of the gang, and so on and so forth. Currently, his position in the gang is he's an underground fight operator as well as a drug dealer. So he is a troll cyber brawler. The benefit of that is he has some cybernetic enhancements, which makes him even stronger than a normal troll. But the negative is, since he's a troll, he's big as fuck, so he knows nothing about stealth. Like I said, he grew up on the street, so he's a street rat. So his knowledge on the street and how the street works is exceptional. However, his knowledge of the regular civilized world is not as good. So in more of a business sense or corporation sense, he lacks knowledge there, which could be used against him. He is an adrenaline junkie, so when the more stuff is happening around him, he thrives. He likes those high-octane, heart-pounding situations. Negative, though, is that if it gets too boring and things aren't happening, then he can just run off and kind of go find something that'll make him interesting. He's also has the trait of reckless abandon, which can be a bonus in the fact that he won't overthink his actions, so he won't ever feel the need to be held back in any situations, but at the same time, because of the reckless abandon, his actions can cause potential harm to his teammates or people around him. His contact is Zahira, who is a former lover. So the bonus of that is he knows he can trust her, as well as sexy time. And the downside is if somebody found out that they were former lovers, that emotionally could be used against them.
So maybe an amicable former lover? Meaning you're still on good terms, you still have contact, but you're just not in a completely close relationship anymore.
Yeah, I was kind of going with she had to leave the area due to other situations, but that'll work.
Okay, yeah, then be awesome if you could put that in there. Just because former lover, there's a lot of ways people can split up and become former lovers, so if it's something like amicable, or if you find a better word that describes exactly what you're going for.
Yeah, it's hard to describe kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. The adrenaline junkie and reckless abandon things, your character would also be likely to actually instigate trouble, maybe?
Yeah, it's the whole adrenaline junkie. If stuff's boring, he'd go out and run around and try to find something that'll, get his blood pumping.
Doesn't stick to the plan.
Yeah, would that also cause him to, like, if he's really bored or if he's pissed off and just needs some action, he'll just grab the next hobo and just punch him in the face just to have some action?
Yeah, he'll pull Leroy Jenkins.
Okay. Alright. Sounds good. Okay, I actually do have an adventure. I'll go to the toilet real quick. You guys all know the fixer, Sweet Dave. Just like brainstorm amongst yourselves how you know him, how do you know each other, something like that. I'll be right back in a minute. And then once I'm back, we can start.
Sweet Dave's pretty sweet.
But he doesn't have big tits.
Well, it could be really fun.
Hey, you never know. Could be a girl. Just calls herself Sweet Dave. Like a fixer could call herself Mr. Johnson. Imagine that as you will. Which could lead to some possibly awkward situations. Such as taking Rhea over to the side and saying, "Hello, it's time that you meet Mr. Johnson."
Please introduce me to you, Johnson.
Okay, I'm back.
Sorry, you missed all the sex jokes.
No, I was listening.
While on the toilet?
Speakers, man, speakers. Too good.
Hey, music.
Yeah, music. Alright. So, let me just put a picture of Sweet Dave in there.
No, it's too late. We decided on Rule 34.
Where do I have the pictures? Where are the pictures? But yeah, so you've all made your way to Sweet Dave. There you go. Who has contacted you guys individually because he heard of a good job, needs a small team to be able to pull it off. Not too high profile, so not too much money involved, but just the right job for you guys.
Ah yes, the mythical milk run. In my experience, it's never a milk run.
Oh, there you go. I guess you see it now.
Alright, that's Sweet Dave.
Dude, Sweet Dave. I like the tattoo.
Let me open up a new page for you guys. Okay. So yeah, you meet him in Redmond, which is a district in Seattle, in the Seattle Metroplex. Redmond, also known as the Barrens, is the place you do not want to be if you want to kind of stay alive. But it's also the place where all the gangs are, all the syndicates are, all the runs are, and the jobs. And if you're tough enough, then you can make it, maybe, in Redmond. It's the place where Lone Star, the local rent-a-cop corporation, only goes if they're being paid well enough. And it's a place where the corporations only go if there's serious money or if they want to hide a research facility amongst all the other derelict abandoned buildings. But life still happens in Redmond, with its bars and clubs and anything else that the gangs and the syndicates might provide for the people there, because people gotta drink their synthahol and slot their chips, so there's still some money to be made. So yeah, Sweet Dave meets you guys in a small corner bar in some nameless street in Redmond. Yeah, I heard Mr. Johnson coming in. Some pretty big issue he does not want to discuss with me directly, but needs a runner team. You guys could be just the team he's looking for. It gives you details. This Johnson says he's from a company called Novatech. Small-time corporation. Belongs to Renraku. Make big computer systems. You should probably know that. But yeah, he said he had something urgent coming in. He'll be meeting you guys in a cafe in downtown Seattle. Yeah. You guys want to ask him anything, maybe?
How much is it worth? The job.
It sounded like it's worth quite a bit to him, so he should be willing to pay well. It's Johnson. I've never seen him before, but first check didn't turn up any red flags.
Did he give any more information about the package?
Should just be a very simple B&E. Just break and enter, get something out, get paid, done.
It's never a milk run.
What's in the package?
Didn't discuss it with me, but it's probably some competitor technology.
What does security look like for this room?
I don't know. You'll have to discuss that with Mr. Johnson. I'm just the guy finding a team for him.
Sounds like it would be best just to just talk with him about this.
How do we know who he is when we get there?
He'll be in a cafe called the Blue Max, and says he's gonna wear blue suit, red tie, on his own. He should be looking out for you guys anyway. You kinda hint to the patrons around that you're here looking for a job. He might actually just wave you guys to him. Plus, if you do take the job, I'll message him, and then he knows to expect you.
Blue suit stinks of corp.
If it pays well, who cares?
So, do I tell him that you're coming?
Let's do this.
I'm down.
If the money's for real.
Yeah, he checked out.
Oh, so many check out. So many do.
So he gives you the information how to get to the Blue Max. Johnson wants to meet there in 2 hours, which gives you just enough time to kind of clean up a little bit since you're heading to downtown, and then go ahead to the cafe. Now, Seattle downtown is like day and night with Redmond. This is where all the big buildings are, where all the money goes into. This is the face that Seattle shows to the world, to show all the tourists, to show all the corporations, to show all the businessmen that yes, we want your money and your money is safe here. Typically, you don't run around here with big guns and other toys, because then you will stick out like a sore thumb and someone will call Lone Star and then you will be questioned. But you find the cafe with no problems. No one really stops you on the way. It's busy evening. And yeah, enter the cafe. Further to the back there's a single man sitting at a desk, at a table, cup of soy calf in front of him. And indeed, blue suit, red tie is the only one that fits the description in the entire cafe. He watches everyone at the door who enters and leaves, spots you guys, and kind of keeps his eye on you, trying to see if you want anything from him. A bit expectant.
I'll walk straight up to him, introduce myself. Anyone else in the party, I guess?
Yeah, we are.
I'd rather go to the bar first, but that's just me, and check to make sure nobody's following us.
Well, I can do my job here.
I will go with Slip to the bar, but I will not buy a drink.
I'm going with the person to Mr. Johnson.
There is no. This is a cafe. There's no bar.
Alright, we'll go to the cafe counter.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go get a coffee.
I'm just imagining that they're dragging some doors to the it's not doors, some chairs to the cafe counter, and they're just sitting there.
We're going to order coffee. Oh, Slip's going to order coffee. I am just keeping an eye out.
Like, you don't all have to go into the cafe. Especially, like, the troll with his big cyber arm. Could, like, if you want
Fuck
to...
that, I
you
want
could...
a cup of coffee, damn it!
Okay, fair enough. Alright, fair enough.
You could
Why
have
does this
Seaal.
stop me
You could
from
have,
getting a double macchiato? I'm in Seattle, damn it.
you could
That
have
is-
someone get you a coffee for you.
That a double macchiato is probably way above your pay grade.
And if he doesn't put extra smoothie, creamy stuff on top, I'm gonna break his face.
Oh man.
Slip causing a commotion already.
Yeah, the
Alright.
thing that you can probably afford is soy calf. Maybe a double soy calf. But you gotta realize that most people use... No one really eats fresh fruit and vegetables, no one really eats real meat, no one drinks real alcohol or coffee. Those things are pretty much only for the rich and beautiful. Everyone else just eats Nutri-Soy with flavoring and colors.
Am I counted as rich since I have 3 in resources?
You could probably afford real meat every now and then.
Yes. Booze. But anyways, I'm assuming moonshine is still cheap.
Yeah. But synthahol, like, synthetic alcohol, that's what everyone uses right now. Same with, like, everyone uses soy
So
calf.
yeah. What was the name of the guy we're meeting?
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
So I'll walk up to Mr. Johnson and introduce myself and point out the rest of the party.
Don't do that.
We kind of have to if it's the client.
You can just say that the party's here. You don't have to point each and every one of us out until we're sure he's good for it.
Just
That
a
really
quick...
depends on the impression you're trying to make.
Yeah, typically you don't
mean, if
want
you
to
don't want
say,
to point it
alright,
out.
we have a guy there, and then here, and I'm here at the table with you. You just kind of sit down and do your talk, do your thing, arrange the job.
Yeah.
You don't want to look conspicuous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big troll with a cyber arm trying to drink coffee at the bar.
Yeah, let him enjoy his coffee, damn it.
Just a quick rules clarification, or like game style gameplay clarification. It's pretty much guaranteed that I will never call for rolls. So I will never say roll perception to check if you can spot Johnson's men, or roll this to do that, or something like that. You guys announce if you want to roll, or if you want to perform a certain action, and if that action then requires a roll. So if you guys want to say, I want to have a look around, see if I spot anyone who might be a Johnson, or like belong to Johnson, or if there's anything else that comes up where you guys say, alright, I want to do a special action. Then we can see if a roll is necessary, and then you roll and we gather the result from there and just see how it develops. So you guys
So I would like.
So you guys just
So
be
I guess I'm
proactive.
rolling for first impression.
Can
You
I
don't
roll,
have to.
roll for perception first? Because I came in, I went to the cafe counter to have a look around. So I want to roll a perception check to just look for anything that seems a bit out of place, something a bit out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Everyone is staring at the giant troll.
I have a fair rating on perception.
Right. Typically, I can just say a fair rating on perception is pretty good. If you're just trying to spot people, then you can typically spot them. If you actually want to get something out of it, if you actually want to see like, alright, is anyone packing? Or you want to create an advantage on this situation, which I kind of forgot for the game, but we'll do that after the run, after you've gotten used to it. Or if you like want to, I don't know, perform something special that might require a roll, then you roll. Did that make sense?
Kind of, but isn't like searching for things suspicious? I want to search for people who are armed.
Okay.
Is that good enough for a roll, or would you just tell me? I don't know.
No, okay, we can just try this out, and then everyone can just kind of follow along, see how this works. So if you're trying to look for people who are armed, that's an overcome action with perception. So just roll. Actually, I have this rearranged already. If you go to your options tab in Roll20, and then show the macro quick bar. It's near the top. Then underneath our names, you should have a button called Roll. That is pretty much the only roll you will ever need in this entire game. Which is why there's only one button.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, works for me.
Okay, so searching for the people who are trying to hide that they have guns and that they are kind of keeping an eye on Mr. Johnson is a fair difficulty. You got +1 on your roll, so you succeeded with good. That's enough for a simple success. So
Okay.
yes, you see 3 more people spread out in the cafe. Definitely look like not businessmen, but they definitely look like security of some sort. No big guns or anything, probably just a simple sidearm hidden somewhere in their suit jackets. But yeah, 3 people spread out, 1 near the door, 1 in the opposite corner, in the back, and then 1 somewhere in the middle. Kinda just making sure there's no trouble.
Alright, after looking around, I turn back to the car and whisper to Slip, like he's not alone.
Okay. Alright, Ninja. So you're walking over to the table. Sit down and introduce yourself.
Yep.
Right, so he looks at you, sizes you up for a moment, and nods. Right.
Sizes me up. Why I'm a dwarf.
Yeah, your fixer already sent me a message. I've been expecting you. Glad you could make it. He probably already told you that I'm Mr. Johnson.
Yep, told us that. We just need to know a couple of the details before we can talk about payment.
Of course, of course. He takes out a folder and then hands you a piece of paper with a picture of a pocket secretary on it, and just some technical data, a bit of technical data like size. Some things not too interesting right now.
What's a pocket secretary?
It's kind of like a palm computer, smartphone kind of thing. That just
So basically,
It's a
tablet.
PDA.
yeah, a PDA.
Okay.
It's kind of what everyone uses to check their emails, to call people, to browse the matrix, to keep notes on there, and calendar and everything else.
Right.
Alright. He points at the piece of paper. Our competitor has been developing this POCSEC for a while now and are trying to release it very soon. Our inside sources say that their specs are immense and our simple Novatech Airware POCSEC will simply not be able to compete with it. Which is why I would like you to make the prototype and the other technical data that they have disappear and hand it over to us at Novatech.
I'm guessing, since this is top of the line, this is gonna be pretty high secured. What's the security like over there?
Security is actually going to be relatively light. The guy responsible for this prototype just came to Seattle for a meeting, a court meeting where he's wanted to present it. And he's staying in a hotel. He's gonna be keeping everything, the prototype, the data, in his hotel room. I've had someone on the inside check it out, and he thinks he's secure. He probably doesn't expect anyone to just pop in the short time frame of him arriving here in Seattle to him bringing the prototype over to his bosses.
Does he have any backups of the data that we'll have to take out?
Not that I know of.
Alright, what... We'll just need to know the room number, and the floor, and which hotel. But I guess you might have a detail packet for all that.
I do, yes. If you accept the job, I can give you all the details you need.
We just need to know what's the payment like.
I can offer you guys 30,000 new yen.
Alright, so Qichin, I don't know Shadowrun all that well, so I don't actually know what the prices are
So
like.
new yen is the global currency that, because Japan took over the world, everyone's using new yen, essentially. Or at least everyone in America is using new yen. And 30,000 is a lot. So a simple cup of coffee might cost, like a simple cup of soy calf might cost like 2 to 5 new yen. Yeah, a car costs several thousand. With 30,000 you can buy a nice car. Or a really fancy sniper rifle, for instance. A pistol costs a couple hundred new yen. A meal might cost like 20. 20, 30 nuyen. So yeah, 30,000 is nice.
Great.
It's getting suspicious.
I'll ask. I'm going to. Alright. So, if the security is higher than expected, will you be paying us more? I'll use. Can I do etiquette to see how successful I can convince him to give us extra money if the security is more than expected?
Alright, what is your etiquette?
It is good.
Oh wow. Alright, for social skills, you can make a roll, but to justify the roll, I would like you also to just roleplay a little bit, or just explain a little bit how you're going about doing what you're doing.
Well, the price seems fine. It's just if the security is more, we need something to deal with it. We may use more resources than expected. We need something to compensate that.
Wait, did you already roll? Or are you just gonna use
No, I
that
haven't.
roll?
That's my roll right there, the new one I just did.
So he looks at you. Fine. I can go up to 35. 35, and you handle security.
Sounds good.
All right.
I think we'll take the job then.
Excellent. A slight smile spreads across his face, and he pulls out another folder and hands it to you. The information packet for everything you need. The Poxec itself is the Teltronics developed by... No, sorry. It's the Saligia 7 developed by Teltronics.
Where should we meet you again?
I will be not in downtown, not with the prototype. Meet me, if you're done with that, meet me tomorrow evening in Puyallup. There will be a cafe or another bar called the Monikas.
Alright, see you then.
If you have the package, send me a message and then we'll meet there tomorrow.
Sure thing.
Alright. So I'm guessing you guys get ready to leave?
Yeah. I'll just walk out without notifying anyone else. Hopefully they can come out individually or something, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you all file out of the cafe without trying to attract too much attention. And you look in the folder and you see that the run should happen tonight because the guy just arrived and the meeting will be tomorrow morning. And from that point on, the prototype will be official.
Okay, once we're away, I'd like to get to basically down low on what's going on.
So I can just explain what happened and read out the details in the packet. So I guess,
Yeah.
what are the details then?
Alright, the details are that this guy you're stealing from is staying in the Congress Hotel in Suite 404, which is on the 40th floor, all the way up. And yeah, he will probably be away enjoying Seattle, enjoying a free night out on company money. So that will be your chance to kind of sneak into the hotel, get into the suite, steal the data and the POCSEC, and then get back out.
Do we know who the hotel is owned by?
Again?
Who the hotel is owned by? Does the document say that?
Which document?
The details.
Give us information.
Hotel he's staying at, who owns it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just a smaller corp. It's one of the hotels that was sponsored by the city itself to make the city look good.
So they're kind of irrelevant in like the overall kind of plot.
Yeah, the owner of the hotel is just a smaller local company. Kinda, yeah.
So he said not much when he talked about the security, but so what are the exact security measures? I'm assuming that is in the details, right?
Yeah, exact security measures is just 4 guards in the lobby, and 4 more guards just walking around the floors every hour or so.
So, by the way, just so people know, like the mage I'm playing is kind of supporty. In this, I've got only really one combat spell, but otherwise, most of it is manipulating edit things. And I do have a spell that is useful during runs called MindNet that allows us all to telepathically be connected, so we can just without having to yell information at each other, we just know.
Do we know whereabouts the hotel is then? Like,
yeah, it's also in downtown.
It's in downtown, okay.
Yeah.
That's gonna be real awkward for me.
It's not right in the center. It's kind of in one of the further out areas that's being developed. But yeah, it's still definitely downtown. It caters to business people, and that's where the business people all are.
Yeah, I'm a bit, or should I say more than a bit suspicious when I hear about the price. Just don't seem right.
Do we have a floor plan?
Yeah. Hold on, let me try and...
I'll be right back, right? Yeah. BRB.
There is indeed a floor plan. Let me just get the image. Yeah. So how a run typically looks is you guys meet up with Mr. Johnson, then you do your legwork where you try and find out information from wherever your contacts or from hacking into systems or whatever else you can think of. And then you guys usually would have time to prepare, not this run though because it's too short notice. And then you go on the run.
By the way, since Rio is gone for the moment, this is just a overall question for the future, for future progress for me. Like, are anti-tank rifles a thing that I can buy?
Yes, but they count as heavy weapons.
Oh yes. I need to get an anti-tank rifle eventually. That's my goal.
Alright, I'm back. And also, don't think that's going to be useful that much. Situations, man. Be prepared for anything.
But see, okay, anti-tank rifles are useful not just for taking out tanks. In fact, anti-tank rifles aren't very good for taking out tanks. Tanks kind of, like, became too powerful for that. But anti-tank rifles are just really good for breaking stuff from long distance.
I'm just saying, don't be hoping to be specialized in long range when we have to go inside a hotel that's better for a shotgun.
I'm not talking about right now, of course not. But I'm a mage normally, you know? I think I'm already versatile enough just being a mage.
So the plan itself is in German because, I got this from a German PDF. But you should still be able to kind of see what's what.
I'm assuming the Qichin is the kitchen.
Yes.
Nice,
That is
that's where I'm
fair.
going first.
Yeah, apparently someone hates hygiene because the bathroom is bad.
So, where are we at right now? Are we still outside
You're
the cafe?
still either outside the cafe or in the car or wherever else you're meeting right now.
That should be or somewhere.
I recommend actually scoping out the hotel before you go in.
Yeah. So, like I said, you guys now you can do legwork and like preparation. How that works is you guys all have time for one action, so you can kind of pick what you want to do. We can discuss how we'll resolve that with rolls, and then what you're doing right now is you're all creating advantages for the run to come.
I'm gonna see if I can get a room in the hotel.
What would that accomplish?
Because I
Yeah,
can start
that's
inside the
better.
hotel, and I have a reason to be in the hotel.
Okay.
What, are you going to make a room for 4?
Well, I mean, if for some reason that has no benefit at all, that would be strange. But like you're saying, there's guards on the ground floor, right? So we can just
Yeah.
completely circumvent them by having a room and having a reason to be up there.
Yeah, or you can just sneak in through the parking garage.
They don't have
Depends
guards down
on
there.
what you want to do, yeah. You could use resources to try and get a room for the night. I don't know if they have any.
Alright, well,
Well-
Nathan wants to get a room, so
Would it count as a full action just to check how much it costs?
Well, hey, you'd have to go there and kind of see if they have rooms available, and you would actually have to get a room on the floor with the suites, because if you have a normal room, you'd still have to kind of sneak onto the floor with the suites.
I see. Alright, well, I may just go with, I don't know, I'll think about it. The people want to figure out what they're doing.
Alright, so I would like to use my street knowledge to analyze the street level of the hotel, i.e. entrances and exits that we can use to either infiltrate or escape from.
Okay. Right, then make a roll.
So I have +2, I have fair street.
Okay. So all of these are against their difficulty. You got
Is that-
you got a good on your result, meaning you get a single advantage with one free invoke on it. This is where you can start writing stuff down. Okay, so you created an advantage. You get to pick where it is. What were you trying to look for? What do you think might help on the run? By analyzing the entrances and exits and the general street layout. Essentially,
So
what you're
looking for the most inconspicuous entrance, as well as something that isn't like cluttered with stuff. So when we try to make an escape, you know, it's not inhibited.
Mm-hmm. So what you're essentially doing right now is creating a situation aspect. It's just like any other aspect, except that it's tied to the situation. So you could name this one something like that.
Street info.
So you have a convenient escape route aspect. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, I mean something that's inconspicuous and we can get in and out quickly.
Okay.
A situational benefit for our extraction.
I think escape's better than extraction. Because to be extracted, you need someone to extract you.
Yeah, okay.
And then you get one free invoke on it.
What does that mean? Like I can use it at any time?
So you can always use an aspect, but typically using an aspect requires you to use a point of edge. If you get a free invoke, it's like you've already pre-spent an edge on it.
Oh, okay.
And
So yeah, we're gonna have a quality, or I guess I should say a clean escape point.
okay. Right, so just as a note, this is how create advantage actions work in the game. You try to create situation aspects, and depending on how well you roll, you get free invokes on them. And then anyone can use these invokes, or anyone can just spend edge to use these aspects as long as they persist. That reminds me, you guys need edge. But yeah, while I'm handing out edge, so that was Slip's preparation or legwork action, that he just kind of cases the building and looks at how the streets look like. Alright, who else? What is everyone else doing?
Trying to think.
So what you can do is you can use contacts, for instance, to kind of get more info. You can use security to kind of check what hotel security will be like, and to see like what kind of weapons they tend to carry or what their protocols are. You can use like slip just streetwise. You could use decking to kind of hack into the security system and see I don't know, security cameras. You could I don't know, anything that you might think of. Resources to buy something to help you. Investigation.
I wonder. Yeah, nah, not likely they have security cameras. Then again, they might.
By the way, if you're in the astral plane, people can't really see you, right?
They can't see your astral form, no. Unless they can astrally perceive.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about scouting in your astral form?
That's what I'm thinking of doing.
I think it's not a good idea because they might have some stuff set up, and you never know. They might have a mage in their security just for you.
Yeah, that's what I was considering. I was basically, I was considering. Okay, actually, yeah, Qichin. When you're in astral form, you can kind of see magical auras, if I remember correctly.
That's basically the only thing you see.
Yeah. So, is this a full option just to go to astrally project and look at the hotel from outside, see if I see anything?
Yeah, you can like astrally scout the hotel. You don't even have to do it from the outside. You can like just pass through walls and just do it on the inside.
Yeah.
Isn't the danger though if you astral project yourself, your main body takes damage, you can die?
Yeah, like you have to make sure that your body is safe.
Which isn't too much of an issue. I can just sit in the car, but
yeah.
Quick, let's
this
go on his
point,
face.
not that much of an issue.
all right. I'll astral project, but I'll be safe about it. I'll try and actually keep out of sight of people and see if I can identify people as mages beforehand. So should I just do a roll for investigation?
Yeah.
I have fair in investigation.
What are these rolls? Holy crap.
All one. Every single time it's one.
Okay. So what is the result you're looking for?
I'm trying to make sure I'm doing it safely and not like if there are any mages in there, I don't notify them because they see an astral form and they don't get alert, So, like the ideal, I'm gonna like go into astral form outside and look at the whole hotels as a whole first, see if I see anything out of place. And then I look into the door without going in first to see if any of the guards, if I can somehow see if one of the guards are a mage or would be able to see me. So I'm just kind of trying to be a little sneaky about it, but it's not like a full stealth thing either. I'm trying to see them.
On the first floor?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get the overall feeling from the hotel. If I don't see that anyone's a mage in the first floor, I'll go up a little bit, but that's about it.
All right. So what you're trying to do right here seems to just you're trying to figure stuff out, but it would be much more beneficial to your run if you could kind of make an advantage out of that. So we could like you're alright. You're scouting around on the first floor where there's also a security office, and indeed, the person sitting in the office at the big desk does have a faint magical touch to them.
Alright, but most mages can't see into the astral plane.
No, everyone can see into the astral plane.
Well, most mages can't see into the astral plane unless they are in astral form, right?
Well, no. So you don't have to astrally project in order to see the astral plane, but you have to like consciously shift your vision, so to speak, shift your perception into the astral.
Alright.
So unless you're constantly doing that, you're just looking at the world normally.
So I'll guess if he's doing his job right, he's actually looking into the astral plane. Alright, so the advantage, I'm trying to think of the advantage I'm trying to create then.
Well, yeah, but then again, there's no real point of constantly looking in the astral. Like, there's no... Like, alright, so what is going on is a lot of security details tend to have some form of mage with them, simply to counter mages that might be mages on the opposite side, or to astrally perceive when something's happening. You don't typically constantly astrally perceive for no good reason. Just like how someone isn't constantly staring at every single security camera feed all the time. Right, they're just like, alright, business as usual, I'm just kind of sitting here. If something happens, then yeah, I can do stuff, but generally I'm just kind of here because I'm getting paid.
It's mall security. He's reading the mag while he should be looking at the cameras.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are just normal people, so...
Alright, so even in astral form, I guess what I'm gonna do is... can I create, like, the advantage, like, I know where all the guards are positioned so that we can get a bonus to, like, initiative or something?
You can get...
combat with them?
Yeah, if you spend some time studying them, looking at them, you can get something like, patrol routes.
Alright, so yeah, I'll be trying to create the advantage patrol routes. And I'm still acting stealthy even if, like, I can't, even if no one can see me. I'm just in case, like, I'll hide behind things just in case someone is looking in the astral plane. Though I don't really have a stealth skill. So.
Yeah, you don't have, like, that's all covered in that one role. So...
Yeah.
You got a success with that role, and that's like, yeah, you got the patrol routes with a free invoke. And that's great. Alright, the other two guys. Anything you guys would like to do to prepare for the run?
Can I roll a perception check to see if there are any alternative entrances that are above ground, so I can utilize my athletic skill to enter in unseen?
What athletics?
So, like, climbing in?
Yeah, you know, like a window that's been left open, or I don't know, like a fire escape or something.
Okay. Okay. Then make a roll.
+2.
Damn!
Damn.
I got a great roll.
The first roll that isn't a 1.
You got a grade. Alright, so you also get an aspect. So yeah, you're free to kind of style this how you want as well. Well, not completely free, but you can always suggest what it is you want to create, what aspect you want to create. Like, you guys, depending on how you roll, you guys are free to kind of interpret the result of that roll.
Alright. So, alright?
Yeah. It just, the result you got simply means that you have an aspect, a situation aspect with 1 free invoke on it.
So as I was scouting, I found a fire exit, which leads onto a hallway, not into a room.
Okay.
Which has been left slightly ajar. Like the bolt in it has broken, and the door doesn't shut properly, so it's easily openable from the outside.
So like this?
Yeah, it's on like this first or second floors. So somewhere like, I'd probably say the second floor.
Okay. Right. Who's left? Rio.
Maybe Abby.
Let's see, so we have information on routes in, possible security information on the patrol routes. So, what else could we use? Okay. We're going after a guy who's creating PDA that's gonna be able to make it so that the competitor or client can compete. So, what can we do? What can we do?
You could try hacking through their network and disabling the cameras.
That would actually be something you'd have to do on site, because security cameras are generally not accessible like just from anywhere in the Matrix.
Well, wouldn't you be able to couldn't what you could do?
There's no
would you be able
wireless, it's
to
all regularly.
scout out their net? Could you scout out their networks and get a bonus towards disabling the cameras during the mission itself?
No, it sounds like if. Go on.
You could use like security maybe to kind of check how the security camera setup might look like, or like in general the Matrix security might look like.
Well, ignore me then.
Like, you wouldn't actually be checking this stuff in the Matrix online, because you typically won't find anything like that. But you could use your knowledge about security in general to kind of make a quick checklist. Alright, this is a hotel, security cameras and security protocols probably look like this, and then you refresh that in your mind, so when you go in, you have it available.
Huh. I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think it would be terribly useful. I mean, disable the cameras on site is mostly what I could do. Because... what was I thinking? Damn it, I lost it.
Or what you could do is you could look for their where they're connected to the internet, or the Matrix rather, and you could disconnect them once we start the mission, so that they can't request help. Just based That's an idea.
Is there a security camera in the guy's room?
Not sure. Probably not, because it's a hotel that doesn't want security cameras in rooms.
I just didn't know if he requested it personally, because I was gonna say if there was a security camera in his room, you could put it on loop or something like that. Or you could put security cameras on the floor that his room's on loop, so that way they'd never be able to notice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we'd have to worry too much about these security cameras, but personally, I think, oh, damn it. I don't think we'd be able to cut out the Matrix, because honestly, if they were communicating, they wouldn't be using the Matrix.
Yeah,
I mean,
cutting
like,
out the Matrix is pretty big task.
And also, just because you cut out, like, the internet doesn't mean you cut out radio waves.
Yeah.
True.
You could like jam their communication system, no?
Do we have EMP?
Do that via Matrix?
While I'm in it? I think not, please?
No. Like, you'd need specialized machinery to kind of jam communications like that.
Can we hack into their communication though to hear it? They hear what they're doing at all times. Because that could give us some insight into their movements.
They would probably just use normal walkie-talkies or things like that.
Right, so if they use normal
Quote-unquote hack.
find out what whatchamacallit wavelength they're on, you can
Frequency.
use your own walkie-talkie to listen in.
Yeah, how would you know what wavelength they're on just like that?
Just so you guys know, like once the mission starts, I can like cast a spell on one of them that basically forces them to tell us what wavelength they're on. So it's not too important to do beforehand, unless you want to know before we even start.
I don't think it'd be too important to find out their frequency. I mean, generally, if we go in, they're going to be doing one of two things: investigate or kill on sight,
Or not know.
Honestly, I can't think of too much I could do with my decking right now. I could try looking into the background of the guy that we're after. See if the info we're given is on the up and up. Of course, that might require me hacking into corporate stuff, and that might not be fun.
So your character doesn't trust Mr. Johnson.
No, do not trust him. He's offering 30,000 for a pickup. Do not trust.
It's illegal, regardless of the easiness of the job.
It's never a milk run, man. It's never a milk run. If we were sent after a school bus full of children and said, "Hey, it's a milk run," just so we could steal their candy, we would go in there and those kids would be armed to the teeth with guns and knives.
They would have their popsicles sharpened from looking at so much and stab you with it.
No, they would have actual knives and guns.
You
And be
could
homicidal
just,
maniacs.
you could just kind of investigate to look around a bit on the info of the guy who has the prototype. Like, his name is in the file. It's Nick Green. Nick Green from Teltronics. So
Okay,
kind of
but are you
browse
sure I
them.
use that with investigation or just decking?
No, decking is actually used for illegal hacking actions, but just finding infos, investigate.
Okay, fine, I'll do that. Where's this damn roll thing? Let's see, settings, macro quick bar. I think.
You have to click on M bar for the roll.
Okay.
Goddamn, more ones.
All of the ones. Seriously, these ones.
I have a fair and investigate.
Yeah. So yeah, you find out that there isn't actually too much on this guy. Like, yeah, you snoop around a bit and see, yeah, there's this, especially in connection with the hotel, he did rent that suite, the suite 404 in the hotel. But other than that, there is no trace at all. Like, no, where did he come from? Yeah.
Okay, I'm telling the others about this. Telling them it don't smell right. Smell funky.
Well, I mean, there's multiple possible reasons. The easiest explanation is the name is fake.
Could be an alias. Could be a lot of things.
But yeah, so what
Right.
would you like to go with on this one if you're creating an aspect?
Foreknowledge is forewarned.
That's very, very abstract. You could go with this job doesn't smell right.
Yeah, that's fine.
The spider sense is tingling.
Hey, I'm experienced, so I know when shit's wrong.
Oops, that's not what I wanted to draw.
Experienced to the point that it's damn right paranoia.
Okay, so we have the 4 aspects, right? Okay, so right, that pretty much uses up all the time you have between the meet and between the perfect time to strike. Or, like, you still have a little bit of time left to try and come up with a general plan. You should always have some sort of plan of how you're gonna enter, how you're gonna do stuff, how you're gonna deal with anyone who's in the way, how you're gonna get out.
Well, we had people that was looking at certain routes in and out. Which one are you people wanting to do?
Well,
I have an easy way to get in. As for you guys, not so easy.
I mean, it's a fire exit, so it's pretty much just a ladder, right?
Yeah.
Is there a reason we can't all take it?
Not really, no.
I'm not sure trolls to ladders.
Are the bars close enough for the dwarf?
Yeah, they are. Alright, so...
Wouldn't that be suspicious though? 4 people climbing up a fucking ladder
yeah,
to a fire exit?
especially if one of them is like a big troll.
Whereas I'm a slight elf, and I'm very sneakerini. Nobody sees me.
So, general things, just because it's the first run you're doing, I'll help you out a little bit. General is like you need to get into the hotel, you somehow need to get into the room, and then you need to get back out with the stuff. And then you should have some idea of how to deal with security if you're found. So, in the files, you can find that there is, like, the lift goes straight down to the parking garage. And the parking garage is toward the back of the hotel, toward smaller side streets and alleys. So not the big shiny front. So that was also the way that Johnson kind of wrote down would be the ideal way to sneak into the hotel.
I'm assuming the lift has a guard, right?
No, the lift itself doesn't have one.
How about I go in through the fire exit, I go down to the garage, check it out, and help you guys break into it from the inside. And then we're in.
I'm in.
Wait a minute. What floor does the fire exit go to?
2. You guys can basically just walk into the garage. Like, it's not a specially locked down garage or so.
There's no guards in the garage?
No.
No one protects the cars?
Well, no one really expects the cars themselves to be stolen. There's cameras, but there's no, like, constant guards down there.
So the first step is disable the cameras in some way. We need to do that. Either put them on a loop or just straight up disable them.
Yeah.
And if I can't get to an outlet or anything to deck in, the best way to do that would probably just be to shoot the camera.
Oh yeah,
there is so
gun
much
noises would be a
suspicion.
good idea.
So what we got is go into the garage, disable or destroy cameras, then take the lift to the required floor, find the room, the guy in it.
If necessary, I can disable 1 camera or 2 cameras at max at a time by creating like a box of, like a force field box around it that stops sight, but that's suspicious as hell to anyone looking in the camera feed.
Alright, how do you need to get, how do you get into the room?
I
sounded
break
like
into it.
Are you talking about get to the floor, like into the room itself?
Yeah, into the room itself.
Assuming that the security is not... Well, he said it was light security, I could probably break into it. I'm pretty handy with breaking into places.
I believe you said 4 roaming guards. There might be security outside the room, we'll have to deal with that. The door may be locked, we'll have to come up with a way for that. I might be able to do something with that.
I could mind control one of the guards. I'm assuming the guards have keys to every single room in the hotel.
Yeah, like a universal key. It's not keys, it's kind of like magnetic locks, Mac locks, so you probably have a card that you just hold against.
So we have 2, like, the easiest options would be to just take one from a guard, and then open the door.
Yeah.
He said that he wanted all the information to disappear and be given over to him, but if we do that, there's possibility that the person who developed it might just do it again, so we might have to consider that option.
Well, that's just another job for us.
Yeah, that would be another job.
And well, I meant that we might have to just kill the guy.
Why? Just wait for that wasn't part of the job, so let's not do that, and then he has to give us another job, more money.
Wait, we're killing people? Sounds good to me.
We're not.
I'm just saying,
hope
once the information disappeared, the guy who created the information might just create it again, and therefore,
But that's not our
it might not
job.
be done.
That's
Stop
not your
thinking about
job.
things which isn't our job.
You're not getting paid enough to kill like, kill anyone.
Speaking of which, by the way, I just realized, couldn't we just wait for the guy to come back and then I can cast mind control on him and just tell him to give us the data?
File says that probably won't expect him back until like early in the morning, maybe. You can't trust on him coming back, and then you might have to wait a long time and keep evading hotel security.
That's true.
Ambush? No, that won't work. Well, I have
By the
stealth
way,
go.
when we're starting the mission, I'll set up the mine net if everyone is fine with that.
What was that? Was that a Wookiee?
That was my cat.
Alright.
Can you
So-
not mind that while casting other spells?
What'd you say, Seaal?
Mind that while casting other spells?
I keep not hearing the middle part of what you said.
Can you use mind that while casting other spells, doing other things?
Yes.
Seems like a bit.
I have enough will to cast mind net and one other spell without any fatigue, really. So I can cast mind net and concentrate on some other spell if I want to, or I can cast combat spells if need be while keeping mind net up.
But
I can also cancel it at any time if I need to.
sounds like you guys kind of have a plan.
We
Kinda
do?
do.
What are we doing? Breaking down the front door? Alright, let's do this!
I think that's a good idea.
car.
Leroy!
Oh man.
If for some reason we were going through the front door, all I ask is please take out the mage first.
Geek the mage first. Oh no, so like sneak in through the garage, find a port so you can disable the security cameras, get a key card from a guard, go into the room, and then just sneak back out. Is that
Let's take the
we're
lift
doing-
to the... If we take the lift, let's take it to the 39th floor, not the 40th. Then we can walk up the stairs, because that's a bit less sudden, because otherwise, if you take the lift to the 40th floor, the doors might just open to some guard.
By that logic, if we take the 39th floor, we might encounter them on their patrol.
Actually, wait. Cross that out. Is there a 41st floor?
yeah.
We'll take the lift there, and we go down.
Sure.
They're much less likely to have guards above the floor they're guarding.
They're not specifically guarding that floor. They're just kind of doing their rounds
True.
throughout the entire hotel.
So yeah, there's just a chance when the lift opens, then they'll see us. So we should be going to a floor where it's not as suspicious.
Well, any floor will be suspicious.
Yeah, I'd say we just go straight for the 40th.
Okay. So, you guys doing this?
Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
I guess.
Okay.
Must sneak my big troll ass around in this hotel.
So you guys head in through the garage. As expected, not really any guards there, just a bunch of parked cars. You also find like an electronics kind of room, like a central control switch thing room, where you can jack in to kind of mess around with the security systems if you want.
Alright guys, I'm going in.
Okay. So how this works is you're gonna jack in, and then you still use all your normal skills to find your way around. And it's only when you're like dealing directly with the matrix or doing any matrix actions that you use dicking. You end up first in the node outside that kind of leads into the rest of the system. And yeah, what do you do?
Okay, let's head out from this node and try to see if we can find the security node for the cameras, as planned.
Okay, we can try and handle this as a contest. What this means is that you use various skills to kind of hack the system, and the system tries various skills to kind of prevent you from doing that. If you win, you manage to get your stuff done without alerting anything. If the system wins, then yeah, it alerts the security.
I see.
Hold on, let me grab the rules for that real quick.
I'm testing a thing in Roll20 by the way, so ignore any things I might randomly say in chat.
Okay, so the system just goes with data processing. It's relatively high grade for such a hotel, so it's at great data processing.
Quite a coincidence. So is my decking.
Okay. So you roll first on any skill you want. I would suggest you start with decking to try and get yourself into the system. And then the system has data processing and tries to roll against you.
Okay, let's see.
We're playing Shadowrun.
Alright, well, we need to find the node, we need to get in. So, let's see, what goes for this? Need to find, so we'd usually do investigation, I suppose, for a search. I guess.
So you make a roll, and at the same time, I make a roll for the system.
Yeah, but am I rolling, like, investigation first or decking?
Decking.
Okay. Decking is a 4. Let us see this roll. What the hell?
Oh.
What?
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
How does it?
Alright, so the system...
for some reason.
Report
Wait a
that
minute.
meeting.
Oh wait, there it is. Okay.
Wait a minute. How does it even get a -1?
You got
minus,
2 negatives and a plus.
0 plus.
And my decking skill doesn't count for that at all, does it?
Well, your decking skill does, but you both have the same skill level. So it's really just comparing rules.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't hear all the cursing I just did.
So yeah, the system beats you on this one. You still get in, so you can still kind of break into it, but you've definitely triggered something. Like the white eyes is there, the gray eyes has been activated and is kind of starting to snoop around for you.
Okay. The ice is in. Fine. Fine. I triggered it. That's it. It's on. No more subtlety if it's been triggered. We're breaking this thing.
So you manage to find your way around though, and you quickly identify the security camera. It's not that hard to find. There's not a lot of nodes in the system anyway. And the gray eyes is trying to kind of retrace your steps, so it's still a step behind you. It's not right here, right now. What do you do?
Fine. What's the alert level besides the gray eyes?
It's nothing big right now. It's just kind of like, oh shit, someone's snooping around. Just gonna check what's going on.
Is there any way I can wire it so that that the system believes it's a false alarm?
That would be pretty difficult to do, especially since that might actually take much longer than it would take the ice to find you.
I see. Okay. I can break it. The whole thing.
You could.
Yeah, that's not suspicious at all.
But they're already aware that something's going on.
Yeah, you can kind of expect that the ice would also start alerting the personnel at some point, because that's how it works. You could crash the entire system, or just crash the entire security system if you want. I mean, then they'll definitely know that something's up, but it's a big hotel, so you might be able to quickly sneak up, quickly get your job done, and get out before they find you. Or you can still try and do this sneakily and get out before the ice actually, or just kind of jack out immediately once your job is done.
So the only difference is how long we got to be sneaky.
Yeah.
Well. Okay. I'm gonna shut down the cameras and get out. And then I'm gonna tell everyone that the expected sneaky time was greatly diminished.
Okay.
Security cameras. Prepare to meet Daimeka.
You could totally use your stunt on this.
And I totally am using my stunt on this.
Okay, so you try to brute force the system to crash. Then make a roll.
Oh, come on! Yeah,
yeah, you you get +2 on that, but that's still not enough.
Why does it keep running out?
Well, we should have just went in the fucking front door.
You bite me.
Hold on, I think I've broken my stylus. Shit.
I'm beginning to think it might have been a better idea to hack into the network and delete records rather than prevent records.
Alright, so the gray ice finds you.